What is up, everyone? JD here. I hope you're all doing well today. Today I'm really excited to bring you my full review of the Vosteed Raccoon. What we'll be doing today is going through knife specs, a couple size comparisons, and then I want to jump into my thoughts and impressions on the knife. So let's go ahead and get to it. First up, it has a 3.25-inch 14C 28N drop point blade flat grind, 4.36-inch micarta scales, overall length 7.6 inches, and claimed weight is 3.39 ounces. Let's go ahead and verify the weight right now. Let's see here. Oops, I'm bringing that up a little bit. So coming in at 3.2, under the claimed 3.39 ounce weight. Really awesome to see that. Awesome weight for EDC, and considering it's 23 inch blade, that's really good ratios on that as well. What we're going to do next is just a couple of quick size comparisons, because I really do just want to jump into this knife. I feel like it's been reviewed a ton, and I think a lot of folks have seen it out on the channel. So just a couple quick comparisons. Here it is against the Civivi Altus button lock. And then here it is against the Civivi Conspirator button lock. As you can see, this falls right in between the two. So if you felt like the Altus was too small and you felt like the Conspirator was too big for you, well, there you go. Let me go ahead and move these two out of the way, and let's go ahead and jump into the knife. I know I usually do many more comparisons for you to get a good size reference, but being this is a budget knife and those are budget knife comparisons, I figured that would be enough for this particular review. Now, let's start with the handles. This has really nice flat scaled micarta with an inset liner that has been milled for weight reduction. It has a micarta backspacer with a drill through hole lanyard. It has a deep carry fold over style pocket clip that is inset with flat screws, so it goes in and out of the pocket like a dream. It is reversible, and they do have a filler tab on the other side. Now, I do kind of wish, and I don't know if that's because the liners are shaped a certain way, but I think they probably couldn't go up because of the shape of the liner, but I would have liked to see them bring that up and in and take the liners all the way out. I have a feeling it has to do with the steel liner stopping here as to why you're seeing it there. Very tasteful, light branding on the pocket clip. Not bad at all. It has a really nice pivot screw set up here. So you have the actual outlier here being kind of like a nucleus, and the same on the front. And it is captive. You have no hole here, and you do have the disassembly hole here, which is a T8, T6 hardware everywhere else. I wish it was all T8, but it's not that big a deal. Two different screw size to disassemble and relatively minimal hardware, so that's really nice as well. The button lock here, as you can see, is framed, and it is nice and flush, and then it also recesses a little bit into the scale. When you go to depress this, you can hit it and you'll get it a little loose, but in order to disengage, you need to press this down into the scale. So to me, I like that because there's no accidental disengagement. You have to deliberately disengage this one. Now, thumb studs on here are really nice. I like these. They remind me a lot of what you see on the Benchmade bug out. Just very simple, very minimal milling on the top. Very good to catch the fingerprint on the thumb, so you get good deployment, and it deploys well in the reverse flick as well. Really nicely done. Great access to the thumb studs here on the carve outs. Nicely chamfered around the edges. This thing feels super comfortable in hand. Now, being that it is smaller than the Conspirator but bigger than the Altus, it actually is right in that sweet spot that works for me for an EDC. Great size for everyday carry, especially if you like carrying other gear. Hand fits on here very nice, very comfortable. I find my middle finger just kind of lays up against here, and then my other finger goes over top, and I'm in the perfect position to use this beautiful drop point that has the belt sand or the belt grind finish showing on the satin. Looks really good. Has a good factory edge behind, or it has a good factory edge, not behind anything. As you can see there, just a really slicey knife. I did test this against some cardboard as well. Not a lot, just a little bit. and it works great. And honestly, this size of a knife for EDC, getting into your packages, letters, cutting string, zip ties, things of that nature, this is going to work really great. 14C 28N is a great blade steel. I think it had some tape on the end there. It holds an edge really good, takes a really good edge, and is really easy to maintain. I love this drop point. It's almost a spear point, but it's more flat through here and belly here, so it is a drop point, but it's a great blade shape, really comfortable to use. It has ceramic bearings. I will be doing a disassembly for this particular knife. I don't think I've done that yet. I'm assuming at this price point, which is sub $60, it's going to be on nylon washers. Just guessing. We'll find out when I disassemble. Stop pin is really well done here. It's got a little bit of shouldering, and then when you come up, you hit a nice solid stop pin that is reinforced by the frame there. Good plunge lock. You see it's very shallow, but it's locked up solid, side to side, up and down, no play whatsoever. This thing for me at $59 is an absolute home run. If you like button locks, you like a fidgety knife, you like one without a flipper tab, so it gives it a nice clean overall profile. You don't have a flipper tab sticking out on the knife, just really, really clean. This is going to be great for EDC. It's going to work really well. Just like all button locks though, plunge locks are susceptible to be able to be flicked open really easy. So just keep that in mind. I think that's pretty much the case with like any button lock I've encountered, with the exception of like the ones from ProTech. Those are really solid and very hard. I've not been able to easily get those to deploy. If you don't like a push button lock or a plunge lock on your knife, my two recommendations at this price point are going to be the Kubi Royal, because this is a liner lock knife, a little bit smaller than the Raccoon, but not by much. It does have multiple means of deployment, so you have the hole so you can flick it, and it has the front flipper so you can front flip it as well. But if you don't like that particular option because it has D2, with VG10, another option that I have, and it's a little bit more of a fuller size knife, is going to be the Rubik here from SRM. It's going to have a coated VG10 blade steel, which is not going to be as good as the blade steel on the Vosteed, but for $60, it does give you a crossbar lock instead of a plunge lock. And the advantage of a crossbar lock is it's going to lock up 100% on the spine of the knife, which is going to give it 100% contact to make it a little bit more of a secure lockup. So I don't know if that means anything to anyone, but those are just a couple of budgety options that I can think of right off of the top of my head that I have. But honestly, for me at $60, it's going to be really hard to deny the value here. The build quality is there, fit and finish are there. $60, it does feel like a budget knife. I'm not trying to say that it doesn't. It's not going to compare to, you know, a Vero Engineering Impulse or Synapse or anything like that. That's full titanium ceramic bearings with phosphor bronze cage. Like, it's not quite that level of quality, but for $60, this is definitely going to be competing with some $70 and $80 knives that you're seeing from Civivi, from Kaiser, from Kubi, and you're getting it for less, and it's a great value. It's really hard to recognize that. It's really hard to refute the value that's here. So if you're on a budget, you can't afford to spend a lot, you want a good quality knife that's going to be great for everyday carry, very comfortable, nice ergonomics, and Vosteed seems to be doing a really good job with their offerings and their builds. This is an easy one to recommend to you guys. If you enjoyed today's video, do me a favor, leave a like. Consider subscribing if you're not already subscribed. I'd love to have you follow the channel. Thank you to everyone out there that regularly leaves likes, comments, and is already subscribed. I appreciate you guys. I hope all of you have a fantastic week. And until next time, peace.